Okay. Map. So I've jotted down states like a map because it's a map. And I've marked down certain locations that are hot points that I'm going to try to see when I go from here this way. Now, I will preface, this isn't a concrete path. This is just like a vague idea of some of the hot spots I want to see when I'm out here, some stuff here. I've written Georgia through this way because I might go down this way, or I've written North Carolina to Tennessee because I might go up. Don't know yet. I know I'm going to start at home because that's where I'm at home, is at home. And the first known destination that I know for a fact I'm going to stop at is going from home to Texarkana. So now I went through Georgia because on my original map that I have, who's Google Maps, that may change because Google Maps change. It's got me going from Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, through I can either go through Louisiana and see Louisiana, or I could go through Arkansas into Texarkana. So why Texarkana? Texarkana, because it's cool to me. Because it is on the border of both. It's one city on the border of both Texas and Arkansas. So half of it is Arkansas zip code. The other half is Texas zip code, which I think is pretty cool. So that's going to be one of the first known destinations. Like I said, I may stop in some of these other places just because I got to sleep. Getting from there to there, it takes time. I might spend some time going here. I'm not going to try to speed run any of this. Some of these locations are just places that I know for certain from research that I want to see first. So Texarkana is one just because it's Texarkana. And I'll pop up some stuff to show that. And then from Texarkana, I can either go a multitude of ways. I can either go through Texas, which would be a long time because as you can see, Texas is big. Or I could go up through either back into Arkansas or go through Oklahoma and basically cut the border of that to one of my next locations, which is New Mexico. And New Mexico for me is going to be my first Western destination. It's the first one that's making me be like, oh, hey, I'm out West. Even though, I've got, Texas and all this Midwest stuff, New Mexico is the first one that's going to be fully West. And from there, the first known location I'm going to stop is a place called Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. But next to Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, same thing with Texarkana. It's just a state, or it's just a city that I really like the name of. And then from there, we're going into Arizona. And now I have two destinations. I can either go straight into Grand Canyon National Park, or I can miss that and do the first split, which is what I'm thinking about doing, and just skirting through the bottom half of Arizona first. Because if you look at it, I have to go up and then blah, blah, blah. And I want to see California, but I don't want to stay in California forever. Mainly Los Angeles or anything like that. I'm not planning to go to Los Angeles. Just not sound appetizing to me. But there's other stuff around it. First of which is you can barely read, but it's Valley of the Names. Valley of the Names is really cool. I'm going to post a picture up that you guys can see. And it is just a giant valley. So just a bunch of landmass out there that has a bunch of rocks that people have taken the rocks and spun out their names. And it's been going on for generations. And it looks really neat. And I want to go there to photograph it. And I heard it's pretty cool. From Valley of the Names, let me remove this one so I don't get distracted. And we'll fix this. So for my sake, we're going to go here first. And then from there, we're going to go up to the first national park that I know of that's westward that I want to stay at. There may be some more different parks that I go see. I haven't really done too research on some of the smaller parks, like the state parks of each place or some of the more national parks this way. I haven't done that much research because my main goal is west. So we're going west. So So the first state park will be Joshua Tree State Park. And I'm just going to show a picture that you guys know, so you guys know why I want to go. Picture? Okay, we can move on. But no, really, I want to see some Joshua trees and go to that state park because it's one of the best known state parks out there. And that's one reason I'm going to California. There's a few reasons there, but none of the main big reasons. And then from there, we're going to skirt on our way up to the Roy Motel. So this is pretty cool. I found this place from Becky and Chris because they were traveling this way because they had to, helicopter. Post a link in the description so you guys can go see. But they went to this place and it's pretty cool. It used to be a hotel that was out west. That they closed the hotel, but they still have a cafe, and you can still get an antique made float. So like a root beer float, a Coke float, or whatever you want, which I'm going to try because that sounds pretty cool. And it's a classic diner that's still in some more like classic diner style, which is pretty neat. And they let you walk around and explore some of the hotels, but you can't stay there. But you can go look, which will be neat. So I'm going to go take some pictures of that, which will be cool. And then from there, we go to probably one I'm going to stay at somewhat long because it's the main reason I'm heading this far. And one of the main reasons I've been wanting to do this again, and that's for the Grand Canyon. There's a lot about the Grand Canyon I want to do. I want to go back to the state park. I just want to be around the Grand Canyon. I want to hike down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon and hike back up. Sounds amazing. There's a tent camping place that you can stay at. I don't know if it's still available. I haven't looked it up since a few years ago. But there's a place that you can camp on the shore of the Colorado River at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. And that sounds amazing. So we might do that while we're there. But I can tell you that Grand Canyon, or just Arizona in general, is probably going to be a hot spot for me for a while. And then we'll go from the Grand Canyon up to Utah and see the salt flats because those are also really cool. As much as I like a giant crack in the earth, I like the salt. And it's basically just like a giant desert of a bunch of salt, which would be cool and neat to drive around and experience and just look at, which would be pretty cool. And then from there, we go from Utah into Nevada, into the Redwoods. And I've said this before in a few different videos, but I really like the Redwoods. I like nature and trees, and these are giant trees. So, two big things I like. And that's probably going to be my last stop in California. We'll be seeing the Joshua trees. And then from there, I have a few options. But I'm going to grab a different pen. I'm going to grab this black pen. So we can have a differentiating opinion of lines. So after that, I'm either going to stay in Utah a while, stay in Arizona a while, or this is not confirmed. It just depends on this is the current. The red line's the current. The black line's the future, which is in the future, which I'm not too worried about, but it's out there. I want to go here at some point. And you may be wondering what that is, unless you're from the States, then you might know what that is. That's Alaska. That's up that way. Canada's up here. Alaska's like over here. I would love to go there at some point, but that's in the future. I still have all of these other states to visit at some point. North, I'm not really worried about too much. Maine would be cool and going and see that side. But my main concern is these over here. So that's the path. I'm going to try to edit this a little bit better and make it look a little bit better. Because my handwriting sucks. But that's the main idea for westward, or from east to west, whichever one I decide to go with. Basically, my path for June, and however long it takes me. There's a thing happening, I think, is that Oregon? Oregon's at the very top, right? No, that's Washington. This is Oregon. There's a thing happening there around June, and I may or may not be able to make it up there. because I don't want to rush all of this to make it to this event that happens every year that I could do next year if I'm still out here. It's the bus fair is mainly what it is, and it was pretty neat. But there's also the bus fair and the Sindon Bend, which is somewhere out here, which is one of the things I was thinking about. Is just the Sindon Bend is out here somewhere. A lot of van life, camaraderie happens in the spring to summer months out here, which would be neat. But there's also Tombstone, Arizona. I remembered it was in Arizona, which would be neat to see because I like the movie Tombstone and I like the history of Tombstone. So that's another reason why I might be staying a little bit longer in Arizona. But now you know the plan that's been in my head. That may change because there may be some more stuff that happens over here. I may go into Texas. Who knows? But this is the basic idea. So the skeleton of the whole trip. So, welcome.